Latest on Ukraine. British tank training for Ukrainian troops has begun, January 30th. Here's a look ahead and a roundup of key developments from the past week. What to watch: Ukrainian troops will begin training in the United Kingdom to use the country's Challenger 2, following the British government's pledge to send a squadron of the tanks to Ukraine. The International Monetary Fund releases its latest World Economic Outlook, Tuesday morning in Singapore, Monday night ET. The IMF has stressed that the Russia-Ukraine war is a big factor causing economic slowdown and recession in some countries. A group of European Commission leaders is expected to visit Ukraine on Thursday, and European Union leaders plan to hold a summit with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky the following day. On Sunday, the EU's ban on Russian petroleum products takes effect. What happened last week? The US and Germany each announced they would send tanks to Ukraine, after months of resistance to the Ukrainian government's repeated requests. Germany also said other countries, like Poland, can give Ukraine their German-made Leopard 2 tanks. A wave of corruption-related resignations, dismissals and reassignments shook Ukraine's government. Ukraine's military acknowledged the Russian takeover of Soledar, retreating from the eastern town after a tough battle. Russian forces continued their offensive around Bakhmut and other parts of the Donetsk region of eastern Ukraine. New U.S. Ambassador to Russia Lynn Tracy arrived in Moscow, at a time of strong tensions between the two governments over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. On Monday, Tracy was reportedly heckled by protesters as she entered the Russian Foreign Ministry to present her credentials. Estonia and Latvia told Russia's ambassadors to leave after the Kremlin said it expelled the Estonian ambassador and downgrading relations with the Baltic NATO member state over what it called Russophobia. In depth. The US and Germany pledge tanks to Ukraine, signaling heavy fighting ahead. Germany agrees to send its Leopard battle tanks to Ukraine after weeks of pressure. Why tanks could be a game changer for Ukraine. Pressures on Ukraine's power grid pose a challenge to US aid delivery. Even after a century, tanks still play a major role in war. A former US ambassador to NATO speaks to NPR's Morning Edition about how battle tanks could impact the war. President Zelensky shakes up Ukraine's cabinet amid corruption allegations. Ukraine's fight against corruption isn't new. It's still trying. The U.S. permanent representative to NATO speaks to NPR's Michelle Martin about Ukraine's anti-corruption efforts. Special report: Russia's war in Ukraine is changing the world. See its ripple effects in all corners of the globe. Earlier developments: you can read past recaps here. For context and more in-depth stories, you can find more of NPR's coverage here. Also, listen and subscribe to NPR's State of Ukraine podcast for updates throughout the day.